Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, 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 Hogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
Before we start the video, I just want to say, I know that this health update isn't breaking news now, and I'm sure you're all aware that I'm always about a day or two behind DSP, but I still did want to look at it, even though that on the day that I'm actually recording this, which is on a Friday, DSP's first stream back is about to start any minute. But I still wanted to take a look at it and talk about it with you guys.
What is up, everyone? Well, Phil here, and this is certainly not exactly the kind of video that I was planning on making this week, but it's a video that I wanted to make for a couple of days, and every single time that I felt that it was time that I could do it, that I could make it, and I could give you guys an update on what's going on with my health, things would just take a turn for the worse again. So what I'm going to do with this video is give you an explanation of what's been going on with me all this week, how sick I've been, how serious it's been, because it's been pretty darn serious, and where I am at right now in the course of my recovery, why I'm still not streaming, and to explain to you what you can expect coming up in the future as a result of all of this, because I know there's a lot of questions from my fans here, like when am I coming back with a stream or whatever, and I'd love to answer that for you. I don't know if I can definitively answer that yet.
So we're already off to a terrific start, because not only can he not tell you when he's going to come back, but apparently he was so sick that he couldn't give you video style updates about his health. I just find that very odd, because as somebody who makes videos now, I understand exactly how easy and how difficult it is to just get in front of your camera or get in front of your microphone and make a video that's as simple as, hey guys, I'm still sick, I'm not feeling all that much better, I'm gonna have more information for you soon, and I've been taking my medicine as directed. It's not exactly a strenuous task. And it would have given you some sort of content for your audience to actually watch and maybe even support. But instead you decided to beg through text, which is about as low effort as it gets. It's only one step above just expecting to be paid for actually nothing.
Okay, so first of all, I'm actually filming this at 10:38 p.m. on Wednesday, November 1st. The last time I streamed was this weekend, Sunday night, which was what, the 29th? So that is the longest gap in the history of me being an actual streamer that I have not streamed when I had been scheduled to. I have been sick before, and usually I'll take a day or two off at tops if I need it, and then I'll tough through it, I'll fight through it, and I'll come back and I'll stream.
Jesus Christ, that snort was horrific. But yeah, what he's saying is true. That's why it was such a big deal when he was gone for so long. That's why every detractor in this sphere had to address it and had to talk about it. Because it really was out of the ordinary for the guy. You know, he doesn't miss an opportunity to beg. And by not having his stream, he is squandering that opportunity, especially when he canceled his Halloween event. I mean, say what you want about the guy, but he's here for his paycheck. He definitely clocks in and out to collect it. He's not clocking in on time, and he's not clocking out any later than he has to, but he definitely shows up.
And I'm going to apologize in advance to you guys. I still am really congested. I've still got disgusting cloggage and drippage in my body. I'm going to have to be clearing my nose and snorting and doing things to even talk to you in this video. Please be expecting that. I'm sorry if that's disgusting to you. It's just what's going on right now. If you want to watch this video, you're going to have to tough through it, just like I have for the past many days. Okay? So
But Dave, that's really not out of the ordinary. I mean, you snort, cough, and clear your throat into the microphone every single day on stream. It has nothing to do with you being sick. So it's very strange that you would give us this warning, because everybody who watches your content is well aware that this is going to happen and that there's nothing we can do about it, despite people for years telling you that you need to mute your mic. But it especially doesn't make sense in this video why you would have to snort into the microphone and clear your throat. Because while you might be sick, it is an edited video that you can redo. You can always just do another take if you had to snort in the mic. But of course, as always, you can't be bothered to take any sort of effort to make your content at least watchable. And I hate to keep saying this, but as somebody who also makes videos, I understand how simple it is to just cut out the bad takes and to redo them. And it's even easier to just cut the snort or the cough out. But of course, like I said, he can't be bothered. He'd rather just make you suffer. You know, the people who are supposed to be paying his two big bills? Yeah, just deal with it.
here's what's going on. This last week was a very stressful week for me. My internet was having all kinds of issues. I had an incredibly stressful day out on my day off last week on Thursday, where I had to run around doing a million appointments, plus get on phone with my ISP about the internet and all of that. You know, came back, and then what happened on Friday? I had to have the tech person come out here and figure out what was going on with my internet and solve it, and then we rushed right into Alan Wake 2. This has been a very, very stressful time of year for me, trying to make everything work and everything with all this other stuff going on at the same time. It's stressful enough trying to juggle all these new releases and plan marathon events and things, but then to have all this other stuff going on at the same time, right?
Well, I just want to remind everybody that all of those problems are entirely DSP's fault. He had to deal with the Comcast person on Friday because he refused to deal with it on Thursday, which was his day off. He's the one that schedules all of his own appointments, and he manages to schedule all of them for his only day off of the week because he can't be bothered to wake up earlier and deal with the things before streaming. And it goes without saying that he's his own boss as a YouTube content creator. So he's the only person that's in charge of his gaming schedule and what games he does and doesn't play and when he does and doesn't play them. So he has no one to blame for him trying to juggle all of these games at the same time except for himself. All of the situations that he was dealing with stem from him and the poor decisions that he makes on the daily. But of course he's going to tell us all of this like we're supposed to feel any sort of sympathy for him.
So it was my every intention that over this weekend we were going to focus on Alan Wake 2, get back to Spider-Man, do the reaction show on Sunday, play some Mario. These decorations were going to be here for a fun Halloween marathon on Tuesday, actually Halloween 2023. I was going to be in costume all day. It was going to be such a great event, right?
And he could very much still do the event because, and I don't mean to keep harping on this, he is his own boss. He makes his own schedule. Just because it's technically after Halloween doesn't mean that you can't have a Halloween event. That's the same train of thought as saying that you can't celebrate your birthday if it's not specifically on your birthday. If the time didn't work out for you, if you were unavailable to celebrate the way that you wanted to, you can celebrate it any day you want. And I'm sure your viewers would appreciate you still doing the event. I mean, you already did all the voting. You already bought a costume. Why don't you just do Halloween a couple days late? I almost think that's a better idea anyway. But of course, DSP would rather just scam all of his viewers out of an event. I guess it's really not a scam because they technically didn't pay for it this time. But still, anytime that he says he's gonna do something and he doesn't wind up doing it, it's scam worthy.
And then today we were going to start the new month. Brand new background. Look, I didn't have a chance. I haven't even been in this office since Sunday. I literally haven't been in here. Because here's what happened. So after playing Alan Wake 2 for 2 days, loving it, by the way. Amazing game. Cannot wait to play it again. Been dying to play it all freaking week because I love this game so much. When I woke up, well, when I was going to sleep, actually, on Saturday night, I noticed that I was starting to get pain in my throat. And I was really starting to feel under the weather. I'm like, that's not good. That's a bad sign. And I have a react show the next day. I have to talk the whole stream. How am I going to do that? And my throat is all messed up, right? So I wake up in the morning, I realize, yeah, this is the case where I am totally going to be not able to talk for 3 straight hours. And I said, well, here's what we should do. Let's postpone the react show till Monday. Just cancel the whole stream. Let me sleep in and recover. Let me come back that night, do a gameplay stream, which won't be a lot of talking. It's heavy gameplay, Spider-Man 2. And then hopefully recover and be back on Monday, full capacity. Let's get that react show hammered out, and then back to gameplay, and then, you know, the marathon for Halloween on Tuesday and all of that.
And for those of you that watched the video where I covered some of the community posts that he had made, that's essentially what he said in the post that he was gonna do. So this isn't any new information at all.
And so I did that, and it was funny because, you know, my wife had made tuna casserole for dinner on Sunday, and I slept almost the whole day. And I go to eat it, and I start eating, and I realize, number one, I can barely taste it. And number two, I'm just not very hungry. Like, I'm not appetized by it, which is weird. I love my wife's cooking, and I'm eating. I'm like, all right, I'm going to force this down. Let me eat half of it, right?
What an odd thing to have to say, that you love your wife's cooking, and then immediately follow it up with, all right, I'm gonna force this thing down. It just seems like a strange thing to say and something that didn't need to be said at all. But of course, you know the guy is the king of wasting your time. And he has to talk about Kat as much as possible to make it look like that she's still there and they're totally not divorced. But that's just a rumor, dude. I don't know.
So, I get to the Spider-Man stream, and you guys saw, if you were on that Spider-Man stream, if you've seen the videos, I was not my normal self at all. By the way, I think the lighting is off. Was not my normal self. I was congested. My eyes were burning, like really badly. And my eyes were watering the whole time. My sinuses were all clogged up. So this was a very bad sign. Because not only did I have a throat issue earlier in the day, but even after having slept it all in, I still was not feeling good. Okay? So I was like, this is not good. And I warned everyone that night. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Let's see what happens.
I'm really starting to question what the point of this video is so far, because so far he hasn't said anything new whatsoever. If you keep up with the guy and you watch his gameplay and you watch his normal streams, you know that he's sick. You know what's wrong with him. You know about the tuna casserole thing because you watch the Spider-Man streams. I don't know who he's making this video for. And you definitely know that he's sick because he spent the entire stream telling you that he was sick.
So here's what happened, all right? I went to go to sleep, and basically, that night, it was crazy. Like, I was delirious. I couldn't even have like coherent thoughts. When I went to sleep, it was just like my mind was racing all over the place in bed. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you have like fever dreams and stuff, it was bad. I was like all over the place. Time was just like passing at random intervals. Like I would think, okay, I just slept for 5 hours, and I would turn and look at the clock. 5 minutes passed. And I would close my eyes and be like, all right, another 5 minutes pass, and I would turn and 5 hours pass. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? Right? Just crazy. Progressively over the night, my sinuses completely filled up and clogged. Okay? Insane head pressure. Some of the worst I've ever felt in my life. Started to fill up above my eyes, up into the top of my head, so you could tell it was the entire sinus all the way up and down through my face on both freaking sides. Okay? So it wasn't like, okay, one side is clogged, I need help with that. No, I couldn't breathe. So how do you sleep when you can't breathe? Right?
Well, if your sinuses are clogged and you can't breathe out of your nose, in order to sleep, you'd probably just breathe out of your mouth, you bozo. Is this a foreign concept to you? Because you strike me as the typical mouth breather anyway. That was just kind of a dumbass question. And I've never seen a grown man make this big a deal out of being sick. I've seen actual children be more tough about a sickness than this guy.
So I got up on Monday morning and I knew there was no way that I was going to stream. Okay? I immediately took my temperature, 100-degree fever. Okay, this is awful. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pop a maximum strength Advil. We have them. They're migraine strength.
Well, at least he's following his own advice and just taking a pill and leaving himself somewhere. No need for a hospital visit, no need for doctors, no need for paramedics. Just give him a pill.
And the way it works is you could either take it once every 12 hours or 2 at once, but then you can only take that once every 24 hours. So, well, I'm going to meter this out. I'm going to take one. I'm going to try to kill this freaking fever. Hopefully it'll alleviate some of this inflammation and things I'm getting in my head. And so I did. I took it in the morning. I want to say it was like 9 a.m. on Monday morning. And that's actually when I think I had originally posted up and said to everyone, hey guys, I'm really sorry. You know, everything today is canceled, indefinitely postponed. There's no way that I can stream. You know, maybe I'll stream tonight, Mario, if I feel better. And I don't know what's going to happen. And so I took that pill. And I remember, I think I ate like a bagel with just butter, if I even ate at all. Because here's the thing. Ever since this started, I can't really taste anything. All right, and I know you're already going to start to say this starting to sound like something. Okay, well, let me finish the story.
This dude is absolutely terrible at telling stories. He makes every single mundane task sound like the most complicated thing ever and takes way too long to get to the point. Why do we need to know what time you woke up? Why do we need to know what you ate? And on top of that, he interrupts his own story to pretend to be the audience. And again, this is a pre-recorded video. There is no audience. And interrupting yourself and becoming the audience can be a funny bit if you have any charm whatsoever, if you're charismatic to any degree. But he's not. He just sucks and is very annoying.
So, yeah, I can't really taste anything. And, you know, it could be because my sinuses are so inflamed, right? But it could be because it's COVID, let's be honest. So, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, all right, well, I took this pill. Let's go back to sleep. So I did. I went back to sleep. And the good news is this pill, within an hour, because it's so strong, such a strong Advil, it not only killed my fever, it went right back down to normal temperature, but I got the sweats. That means your fever's gone. That's why you're sweating.
Is that what that means? I thought sweating was a common sign of a fever. Like, sweating itself is a symptom of a fever. So if you're sweating, that does not mean that your fever is gone. It in fact means that you do still in fact have a fever. Call me ignorant, say I don't know how to be sick, I guess, but that's just what I always thought. I don't typically get sick. The most I ever get is just slightly congested and I just sound like trash. But unlike DSP, when I'm congested, I just continue to do the things that I normally do, especially when it comes to content creation. There is a few videos on my channel right now where I kind of sound horrible because I have congestion.
And all of a sudden, half the inflammation went boop out of my head. I was able to sleep. So I was able to get normal sleep during the day, sleeping all day Monday. My wife went to work, all right? You know, unbeknownst to her, she has no idea what's going on with me at home. She's worried sick what's going on.
Now that I have the power of hindsight, because I'm recording this so much later than when it originally came out, I can now tell you that that was a terrible idea. Cat should have never have went back to work when he was feeling this ill. Because, spoiler, despite them not sharing a bedroom anymore, he still managed to get her sick. And unfortunately for the public of Renton, Washington, Kat works at a job where she comes into contact with many people. So she probably also got all of those people sick. So don't be surprised if there's a huge outbreak of the roach plague, because the Bernelio household is just giving it to anybody and everybody.
So she comes home, and you know what's funny is I wish I could tell you like the exact timeline. This whole week has been so delirious for me. I can't even tell you the timeline of what happened when. Like, I know she made food on Monday, but I don't know what it was. I can't remember anymore. Like, my mind is shot from how crazy this week has been. I couldn't tell you what she made for dinner. I know that I probably tried to eat it and didn't. Because again, when you can't taste anything, nothing is appetizing. So even though you're hungry, or you know you should be eating because you're sick, you don't want to eat because you get sick to your stomach when you try to eat and it tastes like nothing.
This guy is the biggest crybaby on the planet. Like, yes, DSP, everybody's been sick at least once, and they understand that sometimes when you're sick, you understand that you should be eating, but you don't feel like it. Everybody gets it. I'm sorry you didn't get to eat the food that you wanted to. I know this is the biggest problem in your life right now, that you couldn't eat something. Congratulations, I guess. You're a real soldier. And I'm actually really happy that he can't remember what she made or if he even tried to eat it. Because honestly, that's just useless information that we don't need to hear anyway. So I'm glad he can't even waste our time with it.
Right? So I barely ate dinner, and that was when I told you guys there's no way I could do the Mario stream, and the Halloween stream is canceled. I don't even know what else is going to happen. All right? And that's really like where the end of my coherent thought ends. At some point, I think I wrote my dad an email to tell him that I was sick and I didn't know what was going on.
Wait, you wrote your dad an email? You didn't call him and you didn't text him, but you emailed him. What sense does that make? How does that even happen? What an informal way to get a hold of your own parents. Do you think that he used his business email, darksidephil@hotmail.com, to email his own father? So when his dad emailed him back, it was right next to all of those apology emails from people that got banned? Also, if he was that sick, wouldn't it have just been easier to call him? He could have just put the phone next to his face or even on his face and then told his dad, hey, I'm sick. This whole thing is just strange. Poor Dave, and I don't mean Phil this time, I mean actually Dave, his dad.
I don't even remember if I posted up anymore. I think I had said, since the Halloween marathon isn't going to happen, you know, and that was something I was counting on for the end of the month. If anyone wanted to do a last minute contribution, like if you were thinking of maybe gifting a membership to the channel, please just do it. Like, I don't even think I posted right, because I think what I meant to say was the Halloween stream is open. You could still go to the stream, and I think you could leave like a super chat or a membership or a gifted membership. I don't even know how it works, but I think you still could. And I think that's what I meant to say. But again, I don't think I said that in the post. So I think people were confused. Like, why is Phil saying this when he's not streaming? We can't contribute if he's not streaming, right? Which is a valid point.
Yeah, you heard that right. He left the stream open in hopes that he would possibly get some pity bucks from the dents, even though he wasn't actually going to show up and produce any content whatsoever. And that whole thing about him not writing the correct thing to post, and people not understanding what he's talking about because they can't support him if he's not live streaming, isn't true at all, because he never once actually mentioned the live stream at all. So there was no way for the dents to be confused, because he very specifically asked people to leave super thanks and tips and to check the video descriptions. Those exact words. For those of you that don't know, super chats are the donations that you send through YouTube on a live stream. Super thanks are the ones that you send in the comment section of a video. You cannot send a super thanks live. So like I said, in the post, he very specifically mentioned super thanks and donations only. The dude is just a liar and is spinning a tale, which was a strange thing to do, because all he really managed to do was out that he left the live stream up hoping that he would get somebody's sympathy money.
So anyway, I was pretty delirious. I was in and out of sleep. And here's what would happen. I would pop one of these Advil. I would feel good for like 2-3 hours because my fever would go down and the congestion would go away. So I'd feel almost normal. And I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling better. Maybe I can actually do something normal. And then all of a sudden, within 2-3 hours, it would start to wear off. And now all of a sudden, the congestion's coming back. And my delirium is coming back because the head pressure is coming back. And the fever is coming back. And I would feel terrible again. And this was a pattern all day Monday, all day Tuesday, and until tonight. Okay? 3 straight days of this, where I only felt like a human when I was popping an extra migraine Advil.
What a weird way to say that he felt sick. That he only felt like a human when he was taking medicine. What did you feel like other than that? Did you feel like an alien, or did you feel like a monster or something? I've just never heard anybody describe being sick as feeling non-human. But I guess shout out to Pillside Phil for holding it down.
And it only lasted a couple of hours. But here's the good news. There is progress. My fever is completely gone. As of today, I never had a fever all day today. Even when I woke up in the morning before I took my pill, didn't have a fever. That's tremendous. In addition, the congestion, I still have it, but the head pressure is not so crazy anymore that I can't think straight. I can actually, as you can see, I'm actually formulating thoughts. I can make a video for the first time in days. I wanted to do this video for 3 days and I couldn't.
But DSP, you definitely could have made this video. You just said yourself that every time you took one of those pills, you had about 2 to 3 hours where you felt pretty decent. It absolutely would not have taken you 2 to 3 hours to make this video. Even if you take into consideration rendering and uploading, it absolutely would not have taken 2 to 3 hours. So I don't know if this is another example of you just not being able to utilize your time, or another example of you just using excuses. But either way, you're lying.
My appetite, it's still not there. I don't feel hungry. Or when I do feel hungry and I go to eat, I can't taste, like I half taste. Like for example, I had a granola bar tonight. That was a peanuts and peanut butter granola bar, and I went to eat it, and I could taste like sweet and salt, and that was it. I couldn't actually taste the peanut. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's all right. Then I want to like, eat like a bagel, and the bagel, it made me sick because I can't really taste it. It's like I'm eating nothing, and it's really disgusting.
Again, this guy's just the biggest baby on the planet. You're sick. You lost your sense of taste. That happens when you're congested because your taste is linked to your smell. And if you can't smell, you taste way less. That totally makes sense. That's part of being sick.
And again, I don't know if it's that I've lost my sense of taste or just because my sinuses are not clear. They have not been clear all week. So I can't really breathe, so I can't really taste, you see. Here's the real problem, okay? You're going to hear it in a second. Excuse me. I have postnasal drip. I've had it my whole life. All right? It's awful. I don't wish it upon anyone.
This dude literally said you're gonna hear it in a sec and then turned around to do the hardest snort of his whole life, but couldn't be bothered to mute the goddamn microphone. I just can't believe him sometimes. And then to tell us for the 9 millionth time that he has postnasal drip and it's so terrible, all while he's got his hand over his heart. I just find all of his theater antics really annoying. I don't need to hear you cough and snort to understand that you're sick, dude. I'll just believe you. You don't have to go into the whole postnasal drip speech. Everyone who's watching this already knows about your postnasal drip, so he's just wasting more time.
Whenever I have a cold, it makes the cold twice as bad because it just constantly goes. So not only do I have to deal with my sinuses inflamed, but then I've got it going down my throat and into my throat, and it just makes everything so much worse. And that could be it too. It could be that it's affecting my sense of taste because between my taste buds and my sinuses is drippage and gross shit. And so because of that, I can't taste either. I don't know. Because I've heard that COVID, a side effect of COVID is you can't taste, okay? So, here's the good news and the bad news, all right? I have good news and bad news for everybody. The good news is, after what, 3-4 days of this, I do feel better now. Like, I'm actually feeling like tomorrow, Thursday, which is my scheduled day off for the week anyway, November 2nd, by the way, I should be getting back to normal. And what I mean by that is, hopefully, I'll be able to have, like, a normal day where I wake up and I feel hungry. And I can eat. I'm going to have some eggs in the morning. And hopefully I can at least half taste the eggs. And get some protein in me for once that it feels normal in the morning to have.
Oh, thank God. Phil is finally feeling better. I'm so happy. I'm going to be able to rejoice knowing that DSP is going to be able to wake up on his scheduled day off and eat a breakfast that he actually enjoys.
And, you know, I'm going to continue to take this Advil because I want to make sure that this head pressure doesn't come back. But I can't take it. I think it said you can't take it more than like 10 days in a row or something like that. Then you get sick from the Advil. So I got to make sure within 10 days this is gone anyway. I mean, we're going on day 5 now. But I'm going to keep it up, okay? So hopefully my appetite will be back. Hopefully the pressure will be out of my head. The delirium is gone, thankfully. The last thing, as you can hear, is like I'm completely congested in my nose and all of that. If that gets gone within the next few days, I'm good, all right? In fact, I can tell you right now, like right now, I could probably stream, but it's 10:30 at night. I'm not going to do it now. And here's the other part of this whole equation I have to tell you guys.
So he just said himself that he's entirely capable of streaming right now, but that he's not going to because it's 10:30 at night. Okay, totally understandable, I get it. By 10:30 at night, I'm tired, if not already in bed. But you'll notice when he was talking about feeling better on his day off, he didn't mention streaming at all during his day off, even though he just had how many days off in a row due to the illness. He had the audacity to beg through community posts and then canceled not only the React stream, but also the Halloween event, and still can't be bothered to stream on his day off because it's his day off, dude. It just doesn't make any sense to me, especially because he's always begging for money. He's always saying that he's so far behind and he doesn't want to get any further behind and he doesn't want to lose that support. He went out of his way to say that he had an obligation to the React members. He went out of his way to set up the entire Halloween event and canceled all of it and still can't manage to produce any content on a Thursday because it's just his made-up arbitrary day off. The guy's just a total bozo.
So my wife putting up with me all week because I've been so sick, right? And she was working when I was sick, you know, and doing everything around the house while I was sick. Now she's sick. She got it from me, you know? So now she has exactly what I have, and she's just starting with the symptoms.
So you knew you were sick, and she knew that you were sick, and she still chose to be around you despite your sickness. And you still chose to be around her, despite your sickness. But we're gonna sit here and act shocked and be upset that she's now sick as well? What did you think would happen, genius? If you were doing as poorly as you make it sound like you were doing, you definitely should have spent an extended period of time apart. Somebody should have been sleeping on the couch so that she didn't get sick, so that she could continue to go to work and make money for the household, since you obviously aren't, because you can't stream apparently. Not to mention that she has a job where she has to interact with the public. It's just irresponsible. So I don't feel any sympathy for either of you two bozos. You just get what you deserve.
So I was like, I mean, hallelujah that I am feeling better or starting to feel better when she's starting, because what would happen if we were both deathly sick at the same time? And who's going to take care of us, right? We're going to hire a maid or a nurse to come to the house? Of course not, right?
And it tells you something about DSP that his first thought is, oh, what would we do? Hire a nurse? Like, no, you buffoon, you would just tough it out like any normal adult in the US. Like, you're both sick, it's not the end of the world, you're gonna do as much as you can for each other, and you're just gonna have to tough it out every single day. The fact that hiring a nurse even crossed his mind is honestly astounding to me, even if he was joking. Because I wouldn't have even thought of that. That actually would not have entered my brain whatsoever. If me and my girlfriend were both sick, to hire a nurse because we're too sick? Never. Not in 1 million years is that something that I would even think of. I'd have to be 6 feet in the dirt before I would even maybe consider.
So here's the other part of it. Because of everything going on, and because, yes, I'm well aware, the risk could be that I have COVID. It could be that I have COVID. It's a very strong chance, I would say. Some of these symptoms sound like COVID symptoms to me. We are treating it like we have it. We don't have a COVID test in the house, but we're going to act like we have it anyway. So we are quarantining. We're doing exactly what we're told to do if you have COVID. So we're not going out. All right, at all. We have, for what we need, we ordered pet supplies. We ordered all of our groceries for the week. It's more expensive. We had to pay way more money to get these groceries delivered this week. We don't even know if the groceries are going to be everything we ordered, because you're not guaranteed to get everything, because who knows, I ordered today. It doesn't mean that tomorrow when they deliver, all the shit will be in stock. We may end up with half our groceries. I don't know how it works.
So there's a high possibility that you have COVID, but your wife continued to go to work and then didn't even bother to get at-home COVID tests on the way home from work to find out if maybe you two were potentially exposing a bunch of unknown people to COVID. Very classy, DSP. And he talks about ordering his groceries like it's some new, weird, mysterious thing that he's doing. Here's an idea, DSP. If you're not sure about something, if you don't know, you could just get on your phone and search it up and find out the answer. I don't know why he has some weird aversion to looking things up, but he would find out very quickly that if they don't have the items that you ordered for your groceries, that they'll text you and ask you if you'd like a replacement or them to just not purchase anything instead. But again, he can't be bothered to just look something up. He has the entire world's knowledge at his fingertips and can't be bothered. Instead, he'd rather just act oblivious on the internet.
But we had to do it. We can't be at risk of going out there and spreading COVID to everyone out there if we have it. And we're not going to waste time. Oh, let's rush order a test to take it and see. Fuck that. We're going to act like we have it.
No, but don't act like you're so worried about spreading COVID now. Because how many days in a row were you sick and she still went to work and didn't bother getting a test on the way home? Because they definitely sell them in stores. You can just walk into a pharmacy and pick up a COVID test. And I know that for a fact because I just went out of my way to go on CVS Pharmacy's website, and every single location near me has COVID-19 at-home tests in stock. You're meaning to tell me you were this worried about it and she couldn't stop at the local CVS to pick up a test?
All right. So my first symptoms were showing Saturday night. All right. My fever started on Sunday. My fever just broke last night into today. So they say it's like 5 days after that. So I'm not going out all week. I'm just here all week. You know what I mean? My wife, she's just starting her symptoms. And my God, if she's going to have anything like I had, she ain't going to be okay till next week anyway. So no chance of her going to work or anything anytime soon. So yeah. So basically, here's the way I see it. All right. Tomorrow is my day off normally anyway. We got groceries showing up. We got pet supplies showing up. I'm going to try to cook us some eggs in the morning. Hopefully I feel all right, good enough to do it.
You hope you feel good enough to make eggs in the morning? This is not some arduous task, bro. You're making eggs. It's like baby's first dish. I don't know what kind of ailment you would even have to have in which you would not be able to make eggs. But as always, DSP is the king of making easy tasks sound like the most difficult things on the planet.
And we got a ton of like soup and bread and good stuff for an illness like this showing up. We didn't have any of that shit in the house, and now we're going to have it stocked for the week. We can eat, no exaggeration, we can eat soup, nothing but soup for 4 days in a row if we need to. Works, right? So, hopefully, it's, we get better in the next 4 days. Now, when can I stream again? I know that's what all you guys want to hear. When can I stream again? I don't know.
Well, of course, that's what they want to hear. Dave, you're an internet content creator and you're talking to your audience who watches the internet content that you produce. And your answer being that you don't know when you'll be able to stream next is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how many times I can say it, but you make up your own schedule. You can stream whenever you want. It's entirely up to you. If you feel good enough now to make this video, you should feel good enough tomorrow to stream. And it's honestly ridiculous that he wasn't able to stream because he was sick anyway. There was so many comments on my previous videos of people saying that when they're sick, they stay home and play video games, but Dave is sick at home and can't play video games for some reason. And I feel that exact same way. I've never been so sick that I can't play video games, except for this one time where I had like an earth-shattering headache, but then I just went and I laid down and I took a nap and it was fine when I woke up, so that really doesn't even count.
I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you right now, tomorrow night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, on Thursday, November 2nd, the big return, DSP comes back, and he's going to continue with Alan Wake 2 because he's been dying to play the game for so long that I'm coming back. I can't tell you that because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to feel. Right now, I feel better. That doesn't mean I'm going to continue to feel better tomorrow. You know, I hope so. I hope that this pattern continues and there's not some kind of a crazy big relapse of head pressure and the fever comes back. I haven't had a fever for over a day now, so that's a good sign. You know, but please don't let it come back. And again, I got to keep taking this Advil to make sure that I keep this shit out of my system. And my God, it's been an ordeal. So maybe tomorrow night, and if I come back, it will be Alan Wake 2. Obviously, the Halloween marathon, guys, is done. It's not happening.
And there you have it, folks. This is him confirming that the Halloween event, the Halloween marathon for this year is gone. He can't be bothered to do it a couple of days late. It's just getting sent to ban world. Ban, gone. Forever. All those games that his dents voted on, waste of time. Oh, those game codes that he was going to give out that are probably expired anyway, forget about it. That costume that he said he spent so much money on, you're just not going to get to see it. Sorry, Chief. A month's worth of hype gone completely out the window because he just happened to get sick and can't be bothered to do it a couple of days late.
There's no point in doing it in November, right? And I apologize. We planned for it for so long. I'm not kidding you. I spent a lot of money on the costume this year. This is the second most. Actually, no, I think when I added in the extra prop, it was the most expensive costume I've ever gotten because I wanted to go nice all out for you guys this year. This is supposed to be the year that the marathon wasn't based on contributions. It was just us having fun. And I really liked doing marathons this year as a result of that. And now it gets canceled because of this shit. It pisses me off.
Then just do the event. If you're really that upset about it, it's entirely up to you whether or not you just still do the event. He acts as though somebody is telling him that he just can't do the event because it's not on Halloween. Like, DSP, it's your show, brother. You can do whatever you want on your stream. If you wanted to do a Christmas episode in July, nobody can stop you. They might think you're a little silly, but who cares if they're gonna show up and support you regardless? I mean, you actually already went out of your way to set up all of the things. Just do the goddamn show.
Because I know we had a lot planned and people worked hard to get games nominated for this thing. But I'm already so far behind. There's no way that we can do it. You know, we got to wait till next year to do it. I'm sorry, guys. It's too late for it.
What does he mean when he says that he's already too far behind? Too far behind on what? Playing video games? How are you possibly too far behind on playing video games? You just play them until they're over. You don't have a deadline. You don't have goals to meet. You don't have to have a certain amount of video games done by the end of the day or anything. This isn't a real job. Nobody is looking over your shoulder wondering why you're not getting more levels done per hour. You're not going to have to do a yearly performance review where they ask you why you only cleared 4 games in quarter 3. But I know it's because you're chasing those day 1 views. You have to get these games done on time so that you can play hot new releases right when they come out and try and capitalize on the very first day. But you're not Mr. Views. You're not Mr. Day 1. That's not the kind of content that you put out anymore, except that's exactly the kind of content that you put out and have always put out.
Now, what's the other thing that's been happening is this React show that was supposed to happen. DSP versus the Internet was supposed to happen on freaking Sunday. You know, here it is. We're going to be Thursday. You know, how can we do it? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. At this point, I'm going to have to ask for some understanding. We can't do 2 React shows in 2 days. It's not going to work. And there's not enough time to even post up like a thread and say, hey, nominate your clips for a double show this week in 2 days. It can't happen. So here's what's going to happen. Hopefully, I'm good enough to start streaming, if not tomorrow, Thursday, maybe Friday at the latest, right?
Again, DSP, you're the only one that actually tells you what you have to do. So you can do as many React shows in the week as you like. But I'm not going to sit here and harp on it. I do want to address, though, that earlier I was giving him shit because I said that he wasn't going to stream on his day off just because it was his day off, even though he's had multiple days off. And I think that he said a couple of times now that he might be streaming on Thursday night or something. So I want to rescind that comment. I was wrong. He was at least thinking about the idea of streaming, I guess. And since I'm recording this on that Friday, I know that he didn't stream that Thursday night. But I want to at least give him props for maybe thinking about streaming on Thursday night. Because honestly, that's more than I expected from the guy. So big ups for that, I guess.
And if that's the case, then this Sunday will be the next React show. And it's going to be the same submissions that we had from last week are going to be this week's show. And then there'll be a new thread that night to post up for the next week's show. And I know exactly what everyone out there is going to say. Well, Phil, how is that fair to those who were members? And they were owed an extra show's worth of nominations. It's not. Life's not fair. It wasn't fair to me. I feel terrible. I wanted to be here all week. I didn't want to be sick as shit, feeling like crap.
And this is honestly disgusting. Your audience is asking for the product that they pretty much paid money for. And your response is, well, life's not fair because I got sick. I didn't want to be sick, so you just get to miss out on the show. It's just so disrespectful. And I'm not even saying that he's in the wrong here, but just the way that he comes off when he says these things is absolutely ridiculous. Often when dealing people, it's not about what you're actually saying and instead how you say it. It would be entirely different if he would have got on the camera and been like, guys, I'm really sorry. I understand. Hopefully I can make it up to you. Maybe at a future date we can do like 2 in 1 week or something. Like, we just have to plan it out a little better, but I didn't want to be sick and I'm sorry that that happened. That's a completely different thing to, well, life's not fair, deal with it, I was sick and I didn't want to be sick. That's one of my biggest gripes with the dude. He's just so disrespectful to the people that actually want to support him, the people who actually care about his garbage content, when the reality is nobody should care about this guy. He should be a nobody. Not streaming the games I love, not making money for my family. I haven't been here for how many days? And like I told you guys, it's not like back in the day where if you didn't, back in the day when you were a YouTuber, when I started on YouTube, I was sick. I had times when I was sick, extended periods, and I couldn't make videos. But it didn't matter because the revenue on the videos, just the on-demand viewership on the videos was so high on YouTube that you could be sick and you could go on a trip, you go on a vacation, and it didn't matter. You're still making so much money, it's like you didn't even lose anything. Yes, we get it, DSP. You made money hand over fist when YouTube money was good, and you squandered all of it and have nothing to show for it. Congratulations. Do you want a reward for that or something? And that just goes to show you that his real gripe with being sick, his real issue with not being able to stream is not that he couldn't put out the content for his audience that they pretty much, again, paid for, but instead that he just couldn't make any money to support his family, dude. Which is complete crap because the dude works from home playing video games and doing React content where he just gives the screen a 1,000-yard stare without saying anything. It's the lowest effort content possible, and he couldn't even be bothered to do it because his sinuses were full, dude. An absolute baby.
Today, the on-demand revenue, the ad revenue, is so low that it's not even... I'm not going to go into specifics, but, you know, a day I don't work, a day I don't stream, is a day I don't make money for my family. And I haven't now worked half the day. Well, think about this. I missed part of a Spider-Man stream because my internet was out. I missed the late stream that night because my internet was out. I missed part of the stream on Friday because the internet tech was here, right? So that I could play Alan Wake 2.
Keep in mind that this guy's internet was not down. He totally could have streamed playing these games and been totally fine. The only thing that didn't work was his laptop, so he couldn't check the chat other than on his phone, and he couldn't be inconvenienced enough to actually check his phone for chat. And I've already mentioned it in this very video that the tech having to come on a Friday and interrupt his Alan Wake 2 stream is entirely his fault, because they offered to come on Thursday, his day off. You know, the day that wouldn't have interrupted any of his streams, that wouldn't have interrupted his cash flow at all. But instead he told them specifically to show up on the day that would most inconvenience his streams. Make that make sense. And I thought we weren't supposed to be counting his tips, and now he's sitting here talking about all of the streams he missed and all of the income that he didn't make and YouTube ad revenue. Dude, this is why people are obsessed with how many tips you make. This is why people count, because you make it such a large part of your content. But I guess it's too late to stop now, because the people who care are never going to not care again. And just like everything else, you've got no one to blame for that but yourself. That seems to just be the theme for today.
Then I missed the React stream on Sunday, and then I just missed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's what, 7, 8 streams? There's no way to make that money up, all right? None. Zero. So I'm sorry, I really wish it didn't happen. I wholeheartedly apologize to everyone out there. I didn't want to get sick. It wasn't my intention, obviously, to get this sick and to feel this shitty and to not be able to work and not be able to stream and not be able to provide for my family and not be able to enjoy games and to give you what I promised you. I promised you a marathon. It can't happen. I promised you a React show that I never intended to get this sick. There's no way I can do 2 at once, and there's no way I can make up for it. Not with the schedule the way it is or how behind I am right now.
You absolutely could do the marathon, and you absolutely could do 2 react shows pretty much back to back. But instead of figuring out how to work it into your schedule or figuring it out at all, you'd rather just throw your hands up and say that you can't do it because you're behind and you have to get these games completed and off the conveyor belt so you can move on to the next ones. And him sitting here lying about it makes it so much worse, because his entire content would be much more palatable if he was just honest. But it's the fact that he wants to act like an ass and then lie straight to your face 24/7 that's the problem. And that's not me in any way saying that his content would be good. It would just be more palatable to not have someone lying to your face every single time they open their mouth.
It can't happen. So I got to ask for some understanding. If you're someone who's a true fan of mine who likes my content, please understand what's going on, and I hope you're not upset. You have a right to be upset. And if you are upset and you do not want to continue to be a member over on my DSP Reacts channel because there's 1 week that I have to skip the show because I was so sick, then so be it. You have the right to cancel your membership right now. All right? But you have the right to do that. I can't stop you. I would urge you not to, please, because obviously I'm going to continue with the content on that channel as normal. Now that I'm going to come back, whenever I do come back, whether it's tomorrow, Friday, or whenever, and it would be really unfortunate to lose a ton of the support over there. I've loved the React channel this year, but I tell you, the only reason that channel is worth doing is because of the memberships. I don't make ad revenue on that channel because all the videos get claimed by third parties. So if I don't have members who are paying to be on the show, the channel's not profitable. I might as well just drop it. I don't want to drop it. I like doing it.
So he said that it's okay if you cancel your membership because you didn't get the product that you pretty much paid to get. But he urges you not to, because if you cancel your membership, then he doesn't make profits on the channel and he's pretty much just going to stop doing it. So he's trying to fearmonger you into continuing your membership even though he doesn't deliver on his promises, on the off chance that maybe your membership means that he's not going to make enough money to continue doing the project at all. I mean, you can see how that comes off as scummy though, right? This just sounds to me like the guy who cheats on his girl, and when his girl decides that she's gonna leave him, he threatens to do something drastic because he can't live with the repercussions of his actions. I understand that I didn't give you guys the content that I said that I would deliver to you, but if you all cancel your memberships, then I would just have to close the whole channel down, I guess. And why can't this dude do anything out of the kindness of his heart for his audience? Why do you 100% have to make profit on every single thing that you do on YouTube? If your audience likes and appreciates the React content, even if you don't make money on it, it should just be a service that you do for your audience because you want to entertain them. I understand this is your business and this is how you make a living, but it just comes off as scummy when you say things like this, that every single piece of content that you put out just has to be profitable.
I really enjoyed doing all those horror movie reviews for you guys over the month of October. That was really fun. And like I told you, I wanted to kind of keep that momentum going this month. I guess I think Invincible season 2 is supposed to come out soon. I don't even know. I'm so out of the loop. I don't even know what's going on. Maybe I'll check tonight. Maybe I'll watch a few episodes tonight. Because here's the thing. It's now 11 p.m. My wife is asleep. You know, she's dead asleep. She's sick as shit. And so now I'm like, well, what do I do? It's 11 o'clock. I'm not tired yet. I've been sleeping 3 days straight. Maybe I'll watch some episodes of season 1 to try to catch up. I don't know. But you see, I want to keep doing the React stuff. I really enjoy it. I think it's something different, diversifies my content. But it relies on memberships. And if people are now going to drop their memberships because 1 week I couldn't come through because I was so sick, it could kill the project. I don't want the project to die. So I would urge you, if you like that channel, please keep your membership.
See, and that's the other thing, is he says that he loves doing the movie reviews and he really likes doing the React content because it's variety and it's something different that he enjoys to do. If you enjoy doing something, first off, that should come across in the content, and it definitely doesn't because you always look miserable in every piece of content that you put out. But you also wouldn't just cancel doing it because you're not making any profits on it. Maybe you would scale it back, maybe you would only do it once a month or whatever, but you wouldn't cancel it entirely. You wouldn't just never do it again. In my eyes, that just tells me that you don't actually enjoy doing this content, and you're just saying that to try and incentivize people to continue making you do it for money.
And I promise you, I'll do my absolute best to keep doing it. I mean, this is the one time this has happened all year. I hope it wouldn't happen again, but that's life sometimes, you know. This is the second sickest I've ever been. The only time I was sicker than this was when I had the flu when I was in my 20s, and I was sick for about a week, and I lost about 25 pounds because I couldn't eat. And then I went back to work, and I got sick again, and was gone for another, it was like a recurring influenza. I went to the doctor twice. He was like, yeah, you went back way too early. Maybe one other time when I was a kid, I had chicken pox, and the chicken pox is no fucking joke. When I had it, it was real bad, but I don't think anyone gets it anymore because everyone has vaccines against it now, right? Like, we didn't have that when I was a kid, so I had to get the chicken pox, and I had to get sick as hell, sweating it out, disgusting pus-filled boils on your body. They would itch, and you go to itch, and you pop, explode, makes a giant scar. You're like, oh, what the hell is going on? It was torture.
I'm glad we could get the chickenpox segment out of Grandpa, because that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Old ass DSP telling me about the pustule boils all over his body that he scratched until they exploded and left scars. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it.
So I've been sick before, but it's been a long time since I've been this sick. And I do my best, you know. It's been how many years? I didn't have COVID during the whole COVID thing. If this is COVID, it sucks that I got it now, but at least it seems like I'm through it and I'm getting better, all right? And again, I know this has been rough for everyone. A lot of people, they know me as the most dependable guy out there when it comes to streaming and content.
Is that what they know you as? They know you as the most dependable and reliable streamer when it comes to content? I thought you were known as the guy who jerked off on stream. Have I been misinformed, guys? I guess you learn something new every day. I mean, I said it earlier, the guy's definitely known for being here because he needs his check. He clocks in and clocks out, for sure, but he's not known as Mr. Reliable. That's not something that gets brought up when people talk about him on the internet. That's not what everybody knows him for.
They're like, where have you been? Well, this is where I've been. I've been sick. Right now, I'm not even kidding you. Just sitting here talking in this video for the last half hour, I'm covered in sweat. Because I took my pill around 8:30-ish. And what happens is, but when this pill takes hold of me, it kills all the pressure in me, but it also makes me sweat. So I've been like, for the past 2 hours, like, now I'm sitting here talking in my stuffy office. I don't even have the window open because I'm trying to not make noise here because my wife's asleep. And I'm sweating. Like, oh, man.
What does opening the window while your wife is asleep have to do with you trying not to make any noise? How loud is your goddamn window that you can't open it without making enough noise to wake her up? And how thin are your walls that opening a window is going to be loud enough that someone is going to hear it in their sleep and be bothered enough by it to wake up in the first place? And I know this might seem inconsequential, but sometimes I just get lost in trying to follow DSP's logic in these videos. Because I know that he doesn't think logically, but I'm just trying to understand what he could possibly be talking about sometime, and how the dents don't notice things like this and just understand that they don't add up.
That's what I mean. Like, I'd love to come back. I really want to come back tomorrow. I really wish I can, but I can't rush it. I got to see what happens. Do I get a sound night's sleep? Do I wake up and actually eat normally? What happens with these groceries showing up and everything, and everything else?
So the factors that he stated that go into whether or not he's going to stream on a Thursday night are that he gets a good night's sleep, which is important. Everybody should be getting a good night's sleep for sure. Whether he eats normally, whatever the hell that means for Dave, his diet is garbage and gin. What happens with the groceries? Again, I don't even know what that could possibly mean. Like, dude, they're going to deliver your groceries. I don't know what could possibly go wrong with your groceries that it would affect whether or not you can stream Thursday. Oh, and the last thing was, and everything else, whatever the hell that could even mean. Just to leave it really vague so that if DSP even has the inkling that he doesn't want to be bothered to stream on Thursday, that he doesn't have to because it falls into the and everything else category.
You know, and go from there. How's my wife doing, right? You know, my wife knows I got to get back to work. She's worried too, right? You know, it's one thing to have a day off. It's another thing to have a week off when you can't really afford it. So that's what's going on, guys. I hope you understand. Hopefully this video clarifies, all right? I'll do my best. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll be back Friday. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. You know where I'll post up, either on the community tab on the channel or on my Twitter or both. But I'll let you know, all right? And thank you all for understanding. There's a few people who actually were very nice, wrote me nice messages. I really appreciate that. And all those out there who I know. A lot of people actually wrote me some really heartfelt messages, how sad they were that there's no Halloween marathon this year. They look forward to it every year. It's one of their best things. My costume reveals and everything they absolutely love. And
yeah, I am not gonna lie, I'm a little irritated that he's not doing his stupid Halloween event this year. Because just like all of DSP's content, I enjoy it for all of the wrong reasons. I love seeing what stupid costume he decides to wear so that we can all make fun of it. It's a good time. I love him being bored out of his mind for an extended period of time, playing a bunch of games that he has no interest in playing, and then begging and complaining the whole time. It's a lot of fun. But he's just decided to not do it this year. What an ass.
rest assured, that costume ain't going to waste. We're going to use it, whether it's for a project, you know, coming up in the next year, or whether it's next Halloween. That was a nice-ass costume, one of the best I've ever had. I kid you not. I thought it would have been the best, if not tied for the best costume I've ever had, and now it goes to waste, all right?
Well, it wouldn't be going to waste if you're just going to reuse it next year or for some mysterious project in the coming year. Or you could just do the goddamn event. But isn't it awfully convenient that the most expensive costume that he's ever bought for the streams he's going to manage to get 2 years worth of Halloween events out of? Even if he didn't actually do the Halloween event this year. So he basically managed to spend the most amount of money he's ever spent on a costume, but spread it out over 2 years, because now he's not going to have to buy one for next year. Awfully coincidental, isn't it?
And by the way, if I do come back, I got to refresh this background, because Halloween's over, man. I'm tired of thinking about it. I don't want to think horror. Seriously, I want nowhere near horror. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much. Hope you enjoyed the video and the update, and I hope to be back soon. Thanks for understanding. See you soon. I hope. Wish me luck. I hope that cat feels better soon, too, because she's now got to go through what I just went through, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, and now she's about to go through it, so. All right, everyone. Peace out.
So yeah, that's the health update, guys. Sorry it's a couple of days late. We were putting out other videos about other stuff. If you didn't check out the Q&A or the Boogie video and you wanted to, those are up on the channel. I would recommend you watch them. I had a good time making them, but we're back to our regularly scheduled programming now. So of course, a big shout out to Snort Hogan for the clip, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, big ups to all of you guys for watching the video. If you are indeed still watching, I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll catch you all in the next video, but until then, make sure that you check out other detractor channels and dive deeper into that Snortex.